Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Maple Media. Today, I'm here with the leader of the opposition leader, Ali Hage Hassan, the leader of the NDP.
Thank you, Ashton. Nice
Welcome.
to see you.
Nice to see you, too. Now, we had a few questions for you because, of course, this is your first election campaign. How does your leadership candidacy differ from that of the former leader, Jagmeet Singh?
There's no doubt Jagmeet Singh did a great job inspiring energy and charisma into the NDP party. But under my leadership, we're taking a little bit of a different approach. We're done playing nice or close with the Liberals and the Conservatives, who've consistently failed every Canadian at every step. My leadership is about bold, unapologetic action. No more half measures or compromise. We're here to fight for working families, for students drowning in debt, and for seniors who are struggling to afford medication. This isn't about incremental change, it's about transformative change that puts power back in the hands of people.
Wonderful. What makes you think you're the right guy for the job?
I think I'm the right guy for the job because I've lived the struggle that most Canadians face on a daily basis. I think I didn't come from privilege or political dynasties like Trudeau or Poilievre, who have lived their whole life with a silver spoon in their mouth. I've seen what it's like to work paycheck to paycheck, worrying about making rent, and to fight for a fair shot. That's why I'm not here to cozy up with political elites or wealthy elites. I'm here to deliver real results for real people because I know what it's like to be just like one of them.
I just want to go back a little bit.
Sure.
How has your past, because you talked a little bit about your past,
Yeah.
how has that influenced your decision to run for Prime Minister, and what would make you an effective Prime Minister?
Sure. My past is actually the reason why I'm running. I've seen how the system is rigged against working people, how big corporations and wealthy politicians get ahead while the rest of us are left behind. I've seen how friends and families struggle with unaffordable housing, inadequate healthcare, and jobs that don't pay a living wage. That's why I'm in this fight. Not for power, not for prestige, but to make sure that no one else has to go through what most of us have endured. I'm running to build a Canada that works for everyone, not just the wealthy few and their friends in Parliament.
Okay. Let's get down to platform now. How does the NDP platform differ from that of 2021?
Listen, Ashton, our 2021 platform was strong, no doubt, but we're all about going further now. So we're not just talking about universal pharmacare, we're going to deliver it this time. We're not just going to be promising affordable housing, we're going to build it. And we're not just criticizing corporate greed, we're going to tax it. This platform isn't about action or words. It's about standing up to the Liberals and the Conservatives whose actions have let us down every time and who's let corporate interests run the country for far too long. We're done waiting for change. It's time for us to make it happen and let the people see a new way forward.
Okay, you mentioned change. Change is great. You mentioned a lot of policy platforms and policy initiatives that you want to incorporate. What do you believe is the core issue facing Canadians today?
By far, I think everything that Canadians deal with, it's all stemming from inequality. I think the core issue facing every Canadian today is inequality. The rich are getting richer, families are struggling to put food on the table, young people are giving up their dreams of ever owning a home, and seniors are choosing between medication and rent. This isn't about economics, it's about morality. The NDP is the only party with the courage to tackle this head on. We're fighting for Canada where no one is left behind, where everyone has a fair shot, and where the wealthiest pay their fair share.
You mentioned that the NDP is the only option. As you know, historically, the NDP has never formed government federally, but has formed a lot of governments provincially, particularly out west. Are you running to be Prime Minister, or are you running to join a coalition with the Liberals or even the Greens, should they form government, or hold a balance of power in Parliament?
Yeah. I'm running to be Prime Minister. Full stop. The NDP isn't here to prop up Liberal failures or play second fiddle to the Conservative cuts. We're here to win, to form a government, and to deliver the change that Canadians deserve. Canadians don't want more backroom deals or half-hearted compromises. They want a government that fights for them, and that's exactly what I'm offering to them.
Okay, now if the Liberals were elected, because chances are you wouldn't do this with the Conservatives. Would you try another supply and confidence agreement like your predecessor, Jagmeet Singh, had?
That's a very good question, Ashton. I'm here to tell every Canadian, absolutely not. The last supply and confidence agreement showed us that the Liberals will say anything to stay in power, but they will never deliver on their promises. Canadians don't need more empty words. They need action. They need change. The NDP is done enabling Liberal failures. We're here to replace them with a government that actually delivers for working, everyday Canadians.
Okay. Now, what is a policy in your platform that you are most proud of?
By far, I think I'm most proud of our universal pharmacare policy. Healthcare shouldn't stop at the doctor's office. I think you would agree it should include the medication that people need to stay healthy. Right now, millions of Canadians are skipping doses or going without simply because they can't afford their prescriptions. That's unacceptable. Our pharmacare plan will ensure that no one has to choose between their health and their wallet. It's a bold, transformative policy that shows what the NDP stands for: putting people first.
Okay. So your messaging calls back to a lot of past NDP leaders, and so I want to talk about your party's founder for a bit. How can you, as the party leader and as your party candidates, how can you further the vision of your founder, Tommy Douglas? Is that something you're pursuing?
Of course. Tommy Douglas was a great leader and a great founder. Tommy Douglas dreamed of a Canada where no one is left behind, where healthcare is a right, not a privilege, and where the economy works for everyone. That vision is at the heart of everything we're doing. We're expanding Medicare to include pharmacare, dental care, health services, and mental health services. We're fighting for workers' rights, affordable housing, and a green economy that creates jobs in Canada for Canadians. Tommy Douglas didn't fight for half measures, and neither are we. We're pursuing his vision with the urgency and determination that it deserves.
Okay. Now, a couple last questions. Do you support electoral reform? I mean, this obviously would benefit the NDP, but is that something you're pursuing? And what would that reform look like concretely?
Absolutely. Our democracy is broken. When millions of Canadians don't feel like their votes matter or count, I think that's something to be said about the system. That's why I support proportional representation, a system where every vote counts, where Parliament reflects the true and honest will of the people. I think, when we heard this from the Liberals, they promised electoral reform and broke that promise because it suited their interests. The NDP will deliver it because it's the right thing to do for our democracy and our great nation.
Thank you. Last question. This one's a little bit of a fun one. Can you say one nice thing about each of the party leaders that you're running against?
Okay, now are we talking the party leaders in Canada or like Ms. Parker? And
in Canada, Ms. Parker, Ms. Turner, the leader of the Conservatives.
Yes.
Just all around everybody.
I think both of the young ladies that I'm running against are brilliant young ladies. I think they do a great job in academically, at least, and they're really amazing people to interact with. Ms. Parker seems to be an amazing spouse, and Ms. Turner I've worked with her before on other things, and she's quite amazing to work with. Very easygoing. I'm sure I'm going to have a fun time in the debate with all of them. I'm not sure how good they're going to do with their platform, but we'll see when we get there. As goes for Canadian leaders, Trudeau, I guess, is has a full head of hair, you could say. That's one compliment. And of course, Paul Everett is a very skilled communicator. But that's as far as I want to extend the niceties.
All right. Ali, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Nice seeing you.
To see you again soon.
Of course.